Hey guys, it's Chris Wong. I'm filming this video as of June 18th, 2025, and I'd like to talk more about HHIS, which is a ETF from HHIS Portfolios. It's a high income shares that covers all their individual high income shares ETFs. So as a disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just guys interested in building a portfolio. So HHIS paid 25 cents per share in the last few months, and it's been the same dividend the last few months. So the dividend yield is around 25 or 30% depending on what share price you paid. I know the share price went as low as like $9, and as of today it seems to be around $11.80. So I'm actually thinking about adding more shares of HHIS as I'm trying to increase my monthly income. I actually starting to feel even more comfortable to have HHIS to be even bigger as I'm trying to hit FIRE, financial independence, retire early, faster. I just like the monthly income in order to improve my lifestyle and try to buy more shares of other ETFs. Like I want to try to build HYLD more. I want to try to eventually get more shares of HDIV, or I want to try to build up HBTE, which is a harvest ETF that involves crypto companies. So far, I'm happy with the dividends I got the last few months from HHIS, and I have it in my TFSA. It's tax-free. So compared to the US listed ETFs, there's no 15% withholding tax with HHIS compared to all the other US listed ones I have, like YMAX, YMEG from YieldMax. I may consider adding more HHIS in my Wealthsimple margin account because I feel comfortable with HHIS to pay for a majority of my expenses, and because of the 25% dividend yield or 30% depending on what the share price is, I actually want the dividends from HHIS to pay down the margin faster. So my Wealthsimple margin account, I don't mind having the other ETFs like HDIV, HYLD, QQCL, USCL in it. I will eventually start adding them into my margin account as I'm building up my TFSA and my other accounts as well. The yield for HYLD is like 12%. So it will take a lot longer for the dividends itself to pay down the margin, especially with the margin interest rate around 5% for Wealthsimple. As of right now, because I'm slowly building my margin account and I only had it for a few months, my margin account balance is not that big. So I can just treat it almost like a line of credit and just add money from my work income in order to minimize my margin if I have to, or if I ever get a margin call. But in the future, if my margin account gets bigger to the point where I can take out margin easily to, like, let's say, buy a car, then I would prefer to have HHIS to pay down the margin faster, even though I know I'm taking higher risk than, let's say, HYLD. I do have to consider that with HHIS, I won't be able to use as much margin compared to HYLD on Wealthsimple because HHIS, last time I checked, had 50% margin requirement and HYLD had 30% margin requirement. But in the long term, as I was mentioning about using enough margin to, let's say, buy a car in the future, I want to make sure there's still plenty of buying power when I get to an account that big, because it's a lot harder to settle a margin call if there's at least $30,000 of margin use compared to, let's say, if the account is around $1,000 or $2,000, because the work income for most people is not going to be enough to sell a margin call quickly if the account balance is a lot bigger. I hope you guys liked the video. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up. Otherwise, please subscribe to my channel for future videos. Thank you guys for watching.